Well, good morning and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. It is Monday, July 26th, the 17th Monday of Ordinary Time, and it is the memorial of St. Joachim and St. Anne, who are the parents of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Uh, so they are the grandparents of Jesus, as well as the in-laws of St. Joseph. So we got all those, and so they're actually not found. Saint Joachim and Saint Anne. They're not found in any of the Gospels, but it is in the Gospel of Saint James, which is a supplemental gospel that came to be about in like 125 A.D. is what I found out, as well as some other separate um, church writings, which is interesting. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, um, seems to have a little bit more information on these two saints, the mother of Mary. But anyway, so Joachim is the patron saint of fathers, grandfathers, grandparents, married couples, cabinet makers, and linen traders. So I wonder if that was his job. And then Saint Anne, uh, the grandmother of Jesus, who I presume had a pretty tight relationship with Jesus. And she is the patroness of unmarried women, housewives, women in labor, or who want to be pregnant, because St. Anne had much difficulty getting pregnant. And of course, naturally, the patron saint of grandmothers, mothers, and educators, and also, oddly enough, horseback riders, cabinet makers, and miners. So a lot of stuff going on with those as far as what they're the patron saint of. And they must have did a phenomenal job to raise Blessed Mary to be such a devout, pious woman and remain a virgin with that deep sense of faith in God and the plan. So anyway, let's get to the gospel today, which is from Matthew chapter 13, verses 31 through 35. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen. He proposed another parable to them. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that a person took and sowed in a field. It is the smallest of all the seeds, yet when full grown it is the largest of plants. It becomes a large bush, and the birds of the sky come and dwell in its branches. He spoke to them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed with 3 measures of wheat flour until the whole batch was leavened. All these things Jesus spoke to the crowds in parables. He spoke to them only in parables to fulfill what had been said through the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will announce what has lain hidden from the foundation of the world. Okay. So we got these 2 parables of the mustard seed and the yeast, of taking such little, which ties into the gospel from yesterday, I think. But of just the challenge. I think the Gospels do, we have the teachings and the faith, which we need the faith to know and trust that the kingdom of heaven is just so glorious that we can't even understand it. But if we can see, and Jesus makes this connection with like a small little mustard seed and a small little bit of yeast, and how it can produce just a massive amount of produce. And it's just more glorious than what we can ever fathom. And that is what should give us hope in our faith, is, through all the littleness of ourselves, the littleness of our lives, and also the struggles and the turmoil and the lack of patience and everything. Jesus tries, and Jesus, I think it's really cool that Jesus says that he speaks to them in parables, but he understands us. He understands the difficulty. And that's why he tries to make these connections for us as best we can, even through the struggles and the confusion, and what should we do, and the doubts that go through our mind in prayer and in conversation, and just all the time. And so it's just testing our faith to help it grow deeper and deeper and deeper, So oftentimes, whenever we don't see the progress like what we see from the seed and the yeast, um, we oftentimes get discouraged. I know I'm guilty of this, and where we just keep persevering, and but that's just the Lord trying to deepen our faith and just continuously depend on Him and hope in Him, even whenever it's hard to hope in Him sometimes. And He just wants us to, go deeper. And then once His plan is revealed, um, just there's an even greater joy that we couldn't even fathom, that He wants to give us here in this world, um, knowing that even that joy that we're going to have through that perseverance of clarity and whatever it is that we need to be doing with our lives, that it's still like that joy is still a mustard seed compared to what heaven's going to be like. And so that should be what our hope is, that comes from our faith. So there's the challenge, just whatever kind of, if you're in a rut or if you're feeling super high, if you're in a rut, try to persevere and dig deeper. If you're not in a rut and life's doing good and you're feeling joyful and peaceful, to take that and be like, wow, I feel so good and peaceful right now, and heaven's even better than that. And so that should just give us that hope of continuously giving our lives and our day-to-day to the Lord. So have a great day. Have a great start to your week. God bless and keep it real. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.